I'm Nicholas Jarmany. I'm Chief Executive of Quixant plc. I actually got started many years ago. Originally was involved in industrial electronics and industrial computers, and one day we got contacted by a manufacturer of slot machines, and who was interested in our industrial products. And as an engineer, I was intrigued to know why someone involved in casino slot machines might be interested in a product as we made then, and from that point on began to learn the sort of intricacies and complexities of the gaming industry. And as an engineer, we always like challenges, technical challenges, and I think that's what we built our careers on, really, is the challenge of delivering the best possible solution to a very specialised industry. I've been in Quixant since the founding of the company in 2005 as chief executive. Before that, several of the founders of the company had worked together previously in the company where we initially got exposed to gaming. That was a company that was more involved in industrial electronics. So Quixant since 2005. But our history in gaming goes back to probably 1992. Quixant is a UK company. Our head office is just outside Cambridge in the UK. We have a branch office in Taiwan where we undertake the detailed hardware design and manufacturing of our products. We also have a software engineering facility in Italy, just north of Rome. We do a lot of our software engineering there, and also we do a lot of our customer training and support from Italy. And 2 years ago, or just over 2 years ago now, we set up our office in Las Vegas in America, obviously a key market for gaming. So we're in 4 locations. Quixant's business is producing logic boxes, computer platforms for use in slot machines. So we're not involved in any other business. We just focused exclusively on that task. So our job is to understand the industry, understand the different regulatory requirements, the different markets and the different requirements of the manufacturers of slot machines around the world, and design and manufacture products that are ideally suited to solving their needs. Our markets are wherever there are manufacturers of slot machines, not necessarily where there are casinos. So our markets are in the traditional countries that are strong in the manufacturers of gaming, so North America, Australia, Europe, obviously. So pretty global. We are exclusively focused on gaming, and we focus on understanding the industry and the environment and the detailed needs of our customers, and providing a very optimized solution that makes their life a lot easier. So in the past, our customers often had to do everything themselves, source individual parts and assemble a logic box and write a lot of the low-level software that is needed to operate a slot machine. What we've focused on is delivering an integrated solution, a box that takes away a lot of work that they would otherwise have to do to make those solutions, and allows them to focus on what's important to them and their expertise, which is writing good quality games. In the past, the big companies used to design and do everything in-house themselves. But as in a lot of industries, market pressures and pressures for time to market mean even though many companies can do everything themselves, it's no longer sensible for them to actually do that. If they buy a solution like a Quixant solution, it gives them significant benefits in terms of time to market, and normally a significant cost benefit as well. So in the past, they had no alternative but to do these things themselves, because no one provided a one-stop shop to provide a complete solution. But with a company like a Quixant, they can now buy a complete solution that makes a lot of sense. The big trend that we believe we've foreseen in Quixant is the utilisation of 4K ultra high definition screens. Probably people have already seen in television and consumer market recently, 4K is what's been promoted by the television manufacturers. Whether that be successful or not is something else. But I think the exposure to the consumer side of the 4K TVs has made people think about, hang on a minute, maybe 4K has a position in gaming. Obviously, in gaming, people are very, very close physically to the screens, and therefore very high definition can provide a very significant benefit in terms of the user experience. So we believe that 4K ultra high definition is a force in the market, and we are very, very much focused on enabling our customers to be able to deliver 4K high resolution games to the market as quickly as possible. There's always different challenges in different markets. Geographically, there's always something going on somewhere. One market is up and another market is down. We have an office in Italy, and the Italian market is important to us. And currently, Italy is in a very strong state of flux. There's a new law, but no one's particularly clear about the technical details and the timings and things like that. So currently, the Italian market is quite depressed. But the market, generally speaking, is very cyclical in each area. And wherever there's, maybe one market is down, generally speaking, somewhere else is on the up. So on average, we find, if things even themselves out. So as long as you remain spread across the global market, then the overall trend is always up. So regional depressions are not generally an opportunity rather than a problem for us. Some markets, the regulatory situation is very clear and very stable, and those markets are good. But there are other markets where the regulatory situation is much less clear and more complex and uncertain. So certainly closer working between members of the industry and the regulatory sector and the governmental, the state side of things would lead to big improvements. At the end of the day, everyone wants industries that work well, efficiently. Governments get what they want. They have confidence that those regulations are doing what they need to do, ensuring tax revenues are collected and making sure there's no illegal activity going on, but the operators and the manufacturers obviously want stable businesses in which they can be successful. So at the end of the day, everyone essentially needs the same thing. So working closely together to achieve those ends as efficiently as possible is to everyone's benefit. I think the biggest one must be becoming a public company in May last year. So that really, I think, was a very exciting time, hard work. But it was very interesting talking to city investors and people like that, talking to people who haven't got particular knowledge about our industry. And it was very rewarding to find that people were genuinely interested in the industry, excited by the Quixant story and what we're involved in. And we had a successful flotation, and the share price has done extremely well since then. And that, I have to say, feels very, very good. And it's good for everybody in the company. So it's a real achievement for all of the employees in the company to have got to a point where we're now a public company. I think that stands out as a major achievement. So what attracted me to the industry was it's interesting, it is complex, and therefore, for someone who's intelligent and is ambitious, there are ways to have a very rewarding career. So my advice to people who are looking at this, if you're prepared to commit yourself and be determined in this business, it is a rewarding business, and that, to be honest with you, is independent of whether or not you actually believe in gambling or understand gambling. Personally, I don't actually understand gambling particularly well, but I'm in the gambling business, but from a very different perspective. We're delivering a technical solution. So even if you're actually not someone who is attracted to gambling per se, as a career and as an industry, it has a lot of very interesting attributes. So I would encourage anyone to get involved.